You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 345, Dog and Pony Show Season 5, Episode 4, recorded January 2021, posted May 2022. Curiosity killed the Crucible.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. He, him, his are my pronouns. This is the podcast where I am increasingly mean to the nicest people that will tolerate my presence. That's right, it's the Dog and Pony Show. We're in Barovia. We are playing Curse of Strahd. Allow me to introduce our players. They will remind you who their characters are, and then I'll give you a quick recap of the story so far. First up in my Zoom column, and therefore in my heart, don't ask me how biology works, it's Dan Morin.
Hello, it's me, Dan Morin, which Tony just said. I am playing Crucible, aka Castan Onatar's Crucible, a Warforged cleric of the god Onatar. I use he, him pronouns. Crucible uses they, them pronouns. I sometimes mess that up, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better.
Next up, the one, the only, the Aline Sims.
Hello. I am apparently not in Tony's heart, which feels like a good place to be. I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf
It's dark
Ranger.
in there, let me tell you.
Check with your doctor if. Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf Ranger, dagnammit, and Androdite, the amazing Mastiff Puppy.
This is going to be a good episode, people. I can tell from the energy in the room. Certainly, we're going to get a lot done today. Next up, she's wearing an Edmonton Oilers shirt that I think it looks like she's a pilot in the Rebellion. That's only for the people watching live. It's an orange and white shirt, people. And my imagination, it's very, very limited. It's Erica Ensign.
Hi. Yes, the Oilers are up 1-0 over the Winnipeg Jets as we record this. Go team!
The Winnipeg Jets, I've just been informed, is a team that plays Canadian hockey.
Correct. On a slightly more germane note, I play Brildish, the Dwarven Paladin. Her pronouns, like mine, are she, her. And I also play Brildish's awesome celestial pony, Pony Cinderlaurent, and his pronouns are he, him.
Next up, it is Jane Ritt. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Tony. I am Jane Ritt, she, her. And I play Lena Dulina, the human rogue, also she, her.
And last but not least, he keeps us on task because he is a terrible, terrible monstrous villain that we are all afraid of, but also we love him. It's Micah Sargent.
Yes, they tell me they love me or else. My pronouns are he, him, and I play Elevor, the half-elf druid, whose pronouns are also he, him, and Samus, the saber-toothed tiger, whose pronouns are she, her.
Also,
And there's a cat tail.
All right.
I forgot for Imra, Androdite, and myself, our pronouns are she, her.
Cool.
Sorry.
All right. What happened previously on Total Party Kill, the Dog and Pony Show, Curse of Strahd, something else that goes here.
Argen Vastholt.
Yes. Our adventurers went to the drowned city of Berez. They recovered an awesome glowing sword that is basically a Dungeons & Dragons lightsaber. On their way back to civilization, I had some ghosts walk by, and they were like, yeah, let's follow the ghosts. This is how dungeon mastering
That sounds,
works,
in
people.
retrospect, really dumb of us.
Have you met us?
I mean, yeah.
Like, dumber than usual.
We don't. Good thing we didn't record that one. They followed the trail of ghosts to one ancient, dilapidated manor known as Argenvostholt, which seems to be some kind of old keep/manor house. They've explored some of the ruins. They've fought some giant spiders. They poked around some spooky foyers. Is this a foyer/vegetable, or is this one that only a foyer? I don't know how it works.
Antechamber.
Our jokes at this point have caused me to lose valuable architectural knowledge. But that's what happens when you commit to a bit. But at the end of last session, Brildish was sent an important psychic message by one Pony Cinderlaurent, informing her something is coming. But before we deal with that, important old business. Last time on Total Party Kill,
I gotta open up the chat.
I made the mistake of informing people that I have never had cotton candy. Micah Sargent is a very dangerous individual, as listeners to Clockwise know, and combined with his planning and Dan's knowledge of where I live, they have sent me some cotton candy. But that's not all. Someone else joins me in my service to podcasts. Jane is also holding some cotton candy. Now I look at this. I will tell you, for things that are nominally food, this is relatively large. It's, smaller than a bread box, but not by a lot. It weighs much too little. It is disconcerting. I was concerned there was a label on here that said, keep out of reach of children. I believe that specifically just means the plastic bag.
I mean,
if
it
you look
depends.
closer, the label says feed to children.
Then the two, I'm going to call them...
Jane, I'm glad we have that reaction immortalized on video.
Inside the plastic bag are two... Jane, would you call them vats?
Yes, I would, Tony.
Tubs?
Yeah. Tubs?
Tubs.
Tubs
Yes.
of cotton
A
candy.
vat is bigger.
I'm
Vat is
opening
much
my
bigger.
bag, Jane. One is pink, one is blue. There's a
Which
QR
one are you
code.
The
going
flavors,
with, Tony?
the flavors are
I
pink
was
and
going
blue.
to ask you because I'm very concerned about it.
So I'll take pink. I'll take
all right.
pink. And I did pull open the lid and try to get a nice waft of the bouquet, and immediately
head?
was
Oh, yeah.
thrown backwards by the heady scent of sugar.
Okay.
My teeth
I
hurt
did-
from, I'd say,
From
6
smell.
to 8 inches away.
You're getting the right
Yeah.
experience then.
Yep. Yep.
Good,
all's
that means
going
it's real cotton candy.
according to plan.
It's only, and this is a vat of cotton candy, so we have
Tub.
2 vats each. I'm sorry,
Tubs.
a tub. We're not going to consume all of this on the podcast.
Oh,
I'm
please
even
don't.
concerned about
That's
really
what you
just
say
having
now.
this in my house because there's only 2 adults and 1 parrot here. And
Please don't give it.
Don't give it to the parrot.
I will not give it to the parrot. There are parrot laws that keep that kind of thing from happening. Each tub is only 220 calories, which doesn't seem horrible.
That's pretty low.
Yeah, that's
Right?
that's
But did
not
you
so bad.
catch the red hot percentage of your daily intake of sugar, Tony?
What is that?
Yeah, well, I do notice that first off, the tub is 57 grams. The serving size is 1 tub. It does say tub.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! A whole tub.
The serving size is 1 tub, which is 57 grams.
I could see
which is
myself
roughly
eating a whole
You'll,
tub.
2
well,
ounces.
and you'll see why.
Um,
You'll see why when
yeah.
you, yeah.
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 How many grams of
And
sugar
yes.
in the 57 grams?
Well, Dan, what would your guess be to how many grams of sugar in 57 grams?
I don't know, 60,
of cotton
65?
candy?
56.
Dan, you're clearly not a physicist, but you're in the right ballpark. There are, in fact, 57 grams of sugar
course.
in
Convenient,
57
of course.
grams. In 57 grams
That's
of
very little
cotton
food
candy.
coloring. Then that's good.
Regrettably,
Yeah.
not a good source of vitamin D, calcium, iron, or potassium.
Darn it! I thought I could
Nope.
get all my potassium from
Enriched.
cotton candy.
You need enriched cotton
Ingredients:
candy for that.
sugar, artificial, and natural flavors. Really?
Yeah,
What's
natural
Sugar is
flavor is
natural?
sugar. Yeah.
Sugar, yeah.
Texture
artificial
is
colors. Yeah.
So I want to.
challenging.
I do want to point out that this isn't going to be the same experience that getting it like at a carnival would be.
Right.
Sure.
Because getting it at a carnival, it's not as like it
Dense.
looks fairly dense.
It's more dense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like remember that as you try it. Like the
Mhm.
texture isn't going to be quite the same as getting it from like
Yeah, like fresh.
from a
Fresh,
candy
yeah.
machine. Yeah.
Again, there's some of the advantages of getting it shipped to us from Amazon, where it's been sitting in a warehouse for
I
who
will
knows how
say-
long.
I will say,
it does come
just-
with a lot of warnings and pieces of information that I feel like you would not get in the carnival setting.
That too.
So,
yes.
for example, do not place in direct sunlight. Same for me,
Yeah.
honestly.
So the reason why is it'll melt.
Don't feed it after
yeah.
midnight.
You don't. It can't be in high humidity either because
It'll melt.
again it will
So
melt.
I will say my wife has at a party for children thrown by the place that she works. She has worked a cotton candy machine,
It's just slowly pulling it apart.
and
I'm taking the seal off.
it's extremely. What I learned about working a cotton candy machine is
You get dirty.
something
That's
you
better
do
a
than
once.
lot of cotton
hairspray.
candy on yourself.
Yeah, it's better than
Okay.
hairspray. Like your hair just
She was
frozen in
wearing
place
like
for a week.
it was a Christmas party. She was wearing a onesie that was like a Christmas tree, and several years later, it still has cotton candy embedded in it because
I worry about people's lungs. I worry about people's lungs who
other
work cotton
things,
candy machines.
other things the package tells me. It does proudly proclaim fat-free in a little yellow balloon, like a circus-style
Mhm.
balloon.
Yep.
Which makes sense because it's all sugar. There's no room for fat. Also, it peanut-free and gluten-free. Also makes sense, though. Of course, that means that the conditions in which it has to be prepared would be that. Jane, I've removed the seal from it. this was a mistake because I am now smelling the cotton
Oh,
candy.
yes.
Welcome.
It smells good.
I'm also regretting the choice. I think I followed your lead with pink, and it does, as a cotton candy novice, it does, looking at this tube, mainly make me think of insulation for housing.
Yes, this is housing insulation.
Less prickly.
So I'm touching it,
Yeah,
and I don't like.
pull
I
it
don't
apart.
like when I'm
Yeah,
pull it
pull it-
apart a
Yeah,
little
we
bit.
have to-
you may
fluff
need like
it.
a wet wipe or something, or a napkin, because it will be sticky.
Did
Yeah.
you ever
It should.
dissect owl pellets in school?
No.
Why would you bring that up now?
right now?
Oh, is that why this is full of mouse bones?
Wait a
Micah,
second, Micah, are you a ranger in real life?
That's for the
he's
crunch.
a druid. Druid.
Or druid? Yes, druid, of course.
So it is weird because it is a little bit in this tub. It seems a little densely packed,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
I'm
It's supposed to be
concerned about.
aerated a bit.
yeah, it would be fluffier.
So the
So-
oils on your fingers will start to melt it. So you do want to, once you've started to play with it, you
Do it.
just need to go ahead
Tony,
and
do
eat
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony,
eat
do
it.
it.
Take
So
a
I
bite,
just
take a
snort
bite,
this
do
way?
it,
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
do
Jane,
it.
are you doing
do
this?
Just
it.
put it on your tongue.
I guess.
Eat it,
Since you
do it,
asked.
Jane. Peer pressure.
And it should start to melt on your tongue.
Yes, it will dissolve.
It just tastes like pink
Yeah,
sugar.
yeah,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
that's what it is.
It's
Uh-huh.
just big
You know, I had a lot of fear. It just it almost feels kind of granular.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like
Sugar?
it's like I just ate like a little bit of sugar in a teaspoon
Uh-huh.
with a slight
There's
sense
more
of
drama.
texture.
That's
It's got some
because that's what you did.
I don't even know if I really experienced the texture just because it melted so fast.
Maybe you
Have
need a
some
bigger
more.
glob.
I
Just
did
take a
I
bigger.
I am
the
getting-
glob.
I'm getting a lot of pink. I
I
went for a tiny
experienced
bit.
a lot in terms of
Talk to me about the heady notes that you're
Yeah,
getting.
Jane, tell
of-
us about your
It's
experience
oaky.
with the glob.
I'm getting whiffs of blueberry,
Mm.
some sugar,
Yeah, well,
a little bit of sugar, mostly
Yeah.
sugar.
mhm.
All right, I think I'm
Nice.
good.
Can you check
go.
for me, Tony? Does the blue one have blue raspberry flavoring? Or because pink is typically just cotton candy.
Yeah, this has natural flavoring. What flavor?
It has nothing that identifies.
Sugar.
I will tell
The
you,
flavor is sugar.
I am not noticing anything in the packaging for the blue one that makes it distinct from the pink one, other than that it is transparent and the contents are obviously blue and not.
I think it's probably just
Interesting.
food coloring.
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
did I
Because
smell
sometimes
it
they will flip.
again?
I just
Yeah,
like
I don't know,
Jane when
Jane.
you hold it up on the video, it looks like you've got like a Frosty from Dairy Queen or something.
It does. I want one now.
Yeah. Mm.
You know what, Micah? I'm even a little bit concerned here. The ingredients, actually, this can't be right or something unless it's just the artificial flavoring. Oh, God.
Oh no. It's coming back to get him.
Don't inhale it
this
directly.
theoretically, both of these include red 40 and blue 1. It must just be in different proportions, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I interpreted red 40 as a quantity of red
Oh.
and not
Nope.
a type of red.
That's
which
the
I
number
am
of
realizing it
dye.
is. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this now that it's in my house.
Well, it lasts until April
Forever.
2022.
The heat death of the
So-
universe.
All right. So I'm just going to eat a little bit more because it already fell on my desk. And
Wise.
then I'm going to wash
As
my
is
hands.
traditional.
Mhm.
Of this whole affair.
Yeah, mhm. See, now I wish
I
I could.
understand.
I wish I could have some now. Like it's not great, but
sorry.
I
It's
still want
addictive
some.
to watching somebody
Yeah.
else eating it. You're like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, cotton candy.
Yeah. I
Also,
remember that.
this feels like a huge conundrum because I have far more cotton candy than I want now, and you have.
Far
Far
less cotton candy
Yeah.
than we want.
Okay, I think this is the most positive thing I can say about cotton candy. I understand the appeal.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Oh, okay.
I never
better
feel
than
like
I thought.
need to do
Yeah.
this again.
Yeah.
Jane?
What about you?
The greatest thing I can say about cotton candy is it was given to me by a friend.
All right.
So what is Pony saying?
Pony says, something's coming. Or should I say, someone, because I am a dramatic pony.
Yes.
He really is.
Yes, he is.
Sorry that I voiced your pony there.
That's all
briefly,
right.
But, you know,
But he I feel like you've
story
got the
demanded it.
you've got the tone
I've got the
down.
range.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So which direction is somebody coming from? I want Pony to be looking the right way direction.
Pony is directing you that someone is coming up the path to the house. It on the map it kind of just goes west, but it kind of winds down the hill to the north. Excuse me.
Is
you have not come that way because you took the shortcut over hills, but you could probably conclude that eventually that path leads to the old Svalich Road to the north.
all right, but they're heading toward the castle. Does Pony think that this person has seen Pony already, or could Pony still sort of sidle out of sight?
Pony says, "I am like the wind, or the night wind."
Okay.
And Pony sidles out of sight.
So So Pony's going to go sort of to the north side of this like turret area over here.
Yep.
But he still wants to like be peeking around the corner,
Sure.
so he can be keeping an eye on.
We've all seen a horse peek before, and we can therefore imagine what it's like for a pony to peek. It's just small.
All right. So as soon as Pony has more information about, like, if it's a single person, if this is multiple people, humanoid, is this a dragon coming up the hill? Like, Pony will be sending me that information as soon as he has it.
All right. And do you get text or voice or full audio visual from Pony?
It's a psychic connection. It's
I think
telepathic.
T-Mobile offers that.
That's what it is.
All right.
It's telepathic. I don't know. Like, what do you? I don't know that I can see through his eyes. I think it's more like he telepathically describes what it is that he's seeing.
And so
I
Pony
spy.
telepathically describes that he at first can hear the sound of hoofbeats, suggesting that it could either be a horse or a zebra or an extremely
Centaur?
tame antelope.
Ghost horse?
Yes.
Or Tony wearing
No, ghost
hoof-
horses don't have
shoes.
hoofbeats.
Skeletal
Unicorn,
Get it
skeletal
together.
horse.
Yeah.
Maybe this is where
Yeah.
the skeletal rider lives.
All right. Several seconds later, a normal, regular horse comes around the hill.
Okay.
It is a horse drawing a wagon, horse-drawn wagon, and there is someone that Pony, based on their garb, identifies as likely of the Vistani.
Does he recognize the horse? Is it Drusilla?
No,
And it's just like
Drusilla.
it's not Rictavio's wagon. Okay. All right.
Rictavio has like a big barrel wagon. This is more like a cart, you know.
Okay. All right. I say, as Brildish, I turn to everybody and I say, okay, you guys, somebody's coming. Pony said that there is a Vistani person on a cart with drawn by a horse coming up the trail. I will keep you updated as to what this person is doing as Pony tells me. But that seems really weird because it didn't seem like this place got a lot of visitors.
I turn to Aragol and I say, Aragol, do you know if the Vistani make use of this building for any purpose?
Not to my knowledge.
Why are they here?
Well, it
Are there
seems that our
windows?
knowledge will soon expand.
Are these windows at the front that we could like also peek out?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. I suggest, as you know, maybe some of you folks who can cast spells at range, maybe take a peek out there. Just
Crucible will pop over to a window. They're
All right.
very curious.
All right, I don't have a token for the wagon, but you see a horse and drawn by a horse and cart with a Vistani rider. That's what these tokens are over here. Kind of drive up to there's kind of a little roundabout in front of Arkenvostholt with the big dragon statue, as described before. He kind of parks the horse. Jane, is that how horses work?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Boop, beep.
Parks the horse, gets off the front of the cart, and starts unloading something from the back of the cart.
can Pony or
Is it a
Crucible
ball?
tell what it is?
Yeah, what's being unloaded?
Looks like a large wooden box.
How large are we talking?
Oh, probably about 6.5 feet long.
Like a coffin-sized box?
I mean, what's a coffin, Dan?
It's
Anything.
it's a
could be
large
coffin
box,
if you try
Tony.
hard enough. Yeah, you know,
About
but
6.5 feet long.
In some cases,
I'm just
it's
saying
a-
he is unloading
a
a
bureau.
large wooden box. It's about 6.5 feet tall. It's about 4 feet wide. It's about 3 feet deep. He's getting it off the wagon. It looks, it would
Is
be
it like-
rectangular shaped, except for a slight hexagonal
Yeah.
thing to it. And
so they're unloading
and
a
he's-
coffin. I got it.
He slides it off the cart, and it kind of thuds just to the ground in front of Arkenvostholt.
Poor handling.
It's weird.
There's
If
the box
I
on
rolled
the
a
map.
23 on a perception check, is there anything else that strikes me about this person with
He appears to be a Vistani, based on his garb. Vistani are much more colorful clothing than the normal dreary goth garb of your standard Barovian. He looks a little disheveled, but he looks pleased that he has gotten a box off of his cart. He is now urinating on the dragon statue.
You're kidding.
oh, he's classy.
No.
That's rude.
Aragal, is there a reason that someone would deliver a coffin to a particular location?
Aragal kind of moves over to kind of look out one of the windows. Is there a window available?
Sure. There's
I
a couple
can
windows
move.
in there, it looks like.
All right. Aragal looks out and says, I do not know, but that man, that is Kolya. He is from my camp.
Ah.
Maybe we should go outside and talk to him. Because I am very curious.
Kolya gets on back on his cart.
So
Looks like he's
I
ready
will
to go.
say,
Whoa.
I will say that when we last parted ways with Aragal's family, they did say that if they ran into us again, they would be forced to enter into
Murder?
a fight with us.
That's
There
true.
is-
Aragal
And
there is
takes a moment
only-
to
Aragal
say,
can't go.
very true. I should also mention, my people. We are, of course, in service to the devil. And, some of my people, they serve the devil out of fear, out of respect or tradition for the old ways. And there are a few among my camp who just seem to really like it. And Kolya is one of those.
Ah.
He is not among my favorite.
So he's like a true believer sort of guy.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
there
Kind
is
of a
also
baddie.
only one of him, and there are several of us.
But I don't want him to know that we're here and then go back and tell everybody
tell
else
other
that we're
Concur with
here.
that assessment.
And I also don't necessarily want to just murderize one of Aragal's countrymen.
If he is departing, perhaps we should investigate the box after he leaves.
Yes, I start looking
Yeah.
around for giant stakes of wood.
Or giant steaks.
Pieces of wood.
Garlic.
Like, we don't even need to open the coffin.
Like an axe handle?
Yeah.
We don't even need to open the coffin. We can just maybe drill a little hole and just straight through, and then we can open the coffin and see what's inside or what was inside.
Do you have you definitely can find a piece of wood, maybe even a sharp piece of wood that was part of the original furniture of this
Power drill?
Here, I don't. Power drills may require
Crucible's finger can
and-
turn into a power drill.
What? Okay.
All we need is a
All right.
spear or a javelin, and just hammer that down to create a little
Question,
hole.
Tony, what time of
Kolya is riding away.
Sure.
what time
Yep.
of day
Yeah,
is it?
bye.
I don't know.
I think it's late morning probably because didn't
Yeah.
we rest?
Yeah.
at
Best
the
time to open a
tower?
coffin, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could also have Pony just keep an eye on the coffin, make sure it doesn't walk away while we continue
Or open.
searching
Oh no, is it a
the
mimic?
rest of the building, since I'd hate for us to give away our position.
I'm just very confused about someone just dropping off a coffin randomly.
Well, if it has something to do with the devil, it's possible that the devil's just been tracking us and knows exactly where we are, and this
And
has
he
been
mailed
basically
himself to us.
well, maybe not himself, maybe a
minion?
lower vampire
Blinky?
of some sort, and just did this just to screw with us. It's a special delivery because I don't like you.
I don't know. I always have this problem when I order food. They just deliver a coffin instead. It's the worst.
That's
no, I
DoorDash
said
in Barovia.
coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Close. We're very close.
One time I got an iced coffin, and that was,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate
Oh
it.
my god.
Okay, so what's on the table? One, we go check the coffin and ask Pony. No,
2, you don't.
yeah, two, we don't. We explore the castle.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's which we do first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my feeling is I would prefer to investigate the coffin, in as much daylight as possible.
I
Yep.
agree with that, but also there were shadows in this room, and I don't want something to follow us out and catch us off guard. So we should have people who are keeping an eye out towards
There's
the mansion.
there are balconies in this room too, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally.
Should we go up
Totes.
there first? Maybe just clear out this room. Just make sure, because we saw the shadows, but we didn't.
Sure.
But then
Mhm.
there was a shadow of like a dragon, right? And like then we
Yeah.
didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
Should we at least
So-
go upstairs and take a look at the balcony, sort of?
Okay.
So, Brildish, can you have Pony keep an eye on the mysterious box?
Yes, actually, so Pony is going to go back to his original sort of post. When he does that and comes within like view of the coffin area, does anything change with the coffin?
No. Does Pony want to look at the coffin?
Yeah, he's gonna
From a
not too
distance.
close, but he's gonna sniff. I feel like horses, it's not as good sniffer as a pup or a saber-toothed tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, I don't actually know if
Mhm.
horses.
The tiger definitely has a good sniffer.
Give me a quick Pony perception check.
Pony perception. Oh, what color die should I use for Pony? This is very important. I apologize for.
A quick PPC.
What
Yeah.
are the
Um,
options?
Well, we've got blue and yellow and red and white and green and orange.
White.
I was hoping for gray, but yeah, I think white is probably the best.
He's celestial.
One of
so
the
white.
listeners just suggests you should just not question the coffin and bring it inside your headquarters, and I'll go to sleep.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, let's do
I've
it.
never heard of that going wrong.
All right. So let's see. We would probably add wisdom to that for a perception type check, which is a 0.
Sure.
So it's only a 7.
Pony Cindelarnt thinks that there's something written on the lid of the coffin. Can Pony read?
Oh crap! Then maybe Silas isn't going to go there.
Montage
Probably
where
read.
we're around the campfire. Brildish had taught Pony to read.
I'm gonna say no.
But-
Pony's intelligence.
But only dwarven.
Yes.
Pony's intelligence is only 6. I feel like he might struggle
Hmm.
to read.
I do not play Pony as having an intelligence of 6.
Yeah, I don't
Pony's
either.
wisdom may be much higher.
Yeah.
No.
Jane, I'm just thinking about one of our other groups. We
a
had
little
a
high.
player who created a new character who was not as smart as their original characters, and they insisted that their character had was such low intelligence that they would not understand the very nature of commerce and ownership of property. And we had a vigorous argument about this, at which point it was revealed that the character's intelligence was 10, which is
Average.
We did have in
Um,
another group a character with an intelligence of what, 4?
What?
Really?
How do you do that?
Well,
Like,
and
if
then
you roll
that
for
character
stats.
got a circlet of intellect, and boy, that I don't remember how high their intelligence was, but it was
Yeah.
not. We were concerned that they would have trouble feeding themselves.
Yeah. All right. So yes, Pony Cindelart
Okay.
recognizes language in the written form, but perhaps cannot decipher.
All right. Well, I mentioned
written
there's
on the cover.
there's
of the
something
coffin.
written on
or should I say box?
the coffin.
Evil box.
But yeah, I think maybe it is a good idea to at least check out this room and not open any other doors before we go outside. As long as that's not taking us until like dark.
Yes. So I will just tell you, if you scroll up on the map, you can see I kind of revealed the second floor.
Oh yeah.
So you can just poking your head up there, you can see that there is a balcony that overlooks the foyer. There's a lot of places you could go from the second floor of the house. There's doors and hallways in several directions, and including there are stairs that go up from the balcony. But doors, hallways at that. Do you see those?
Yeah.
Where I'm
Big,
pinging.
it's a big house.
Also, as mentioned, probably you didn't see these. There are doors. I'll reveal a little bit more of the map there. You see that there are several sets of doors on the north side of the foyer on the bottom level of the house that you entered.
Do we want to
So-
clear the first floor before we clear this room? We
So
got
I'm
a
just
lot
saying-
of options.
Mhm.
There's a lot of house.
Yeah.
You have explored probably you've explored only a chunk of the first floor, let alone the many floors above you. And this house is in poor structural shape, has several floors.
Okay, I think I've changed my mind. I think my vote is let's check out the coffin.
I'm starting to
It's-
lean that way too.
Have a
Okay.
couple people standing by the door inside so that we can shout out at the people who are checking the coffin, or they can shout in, and then go from there.
To your knowledge, you can both shout in and out of the door.
I mean,
Well, some doors.
What are
never
these
know.
miraculous
Check,
creations?
Yeah, you never know.
Check-
I mean, until I enforce a one-way sound magic door.
check this door for
Sound goes in,
magic
but it
traps.
never goes out.
I knew it.
Crucible
Mike
will
goes on to me.
lead the way out towards
All right.
the coffin.
I
Crucible.
will.
All right.
Crucible's curious.
Androdite and I will
Curious
stay
Crucible.
inside. Since
Lena will also stay inside.
I would be better to stay inside because I've got range.
Crucible's checking out a coffin by themselves.
But Samus is going with you.
All right. You want to give me a quick perception check, Crucible?
Sure,
Someone who can read languages?
I can.
I'm going to stay
Read
back
multiple
and look
languages.
around the room for shadows as this happens, but Pony will be
That's great.
keeping me up to date
I'm-
on what's happening.
I am looking forward to this moment where it's like we're all really concerned about the shadows. Meanwhile, a vampire is eating Crucible.
yeah,
Well, Pony's going to tell
are
me
you
if that starts to
vulnerable
happen.
vampires?
Nah, not
I'm
really.
gonna go out with Crucible. I was staying in because I was ranged, but I'll just stay back since no one else is going out with him.
All right. Well, Crucible
Them.
carved in kind of neat, tidy lettering into the lid of this box are, well, let's, and there's no way to say it other than this. There's 4 words. Which word would you like to hear first?
What language are they written in?
Oh, they're in common.
Okay.
Left to right?
In order? Yeah, left to right.
All right. In order, it says cast in Onatar's Crucible.
What? Is this the sack?
Yeah, I was thinking this must be the Revenant. Or something really weird is going on.
Also, I'll tell you, with a 14, you hear a scratching noise from inside
Oh
the box.
my word.
Who has mold earth? Who has mold earth?
So I have hang on, let's see. Favorite
Revenants?
enemy.
Are Revenants undead?
Undead.
Undead,
Yes.
So undead is my favorite enemy. I have advantage on survival checks.
Just every time you say that, it sounds so cool.
As well
I
as
love
A
on
lot of
I love
enemies,
to hate
but they're
them.
my favorite.
intelligence checks to
Yes.
recall information about them. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna roll to see if I can discern what this is.
All right. And I will just tell you, Crucible, you also notice there is like a slight, there's some initials in the like bottom left corner of the lid. There is a kind of little stylized HVH.
HVH.
Yeah.
Someone
Human-
von someone?
Hag von Hag, because it came from the
Oh,
Hag.
you know what? I'm sorry. HVV.
HVV.
I was like, Von Helsing?
How? Oh, they didn't finish. It's how very, very, but they never finished.
Mm.
And the middle V is small. So big H, little V, big V.
H versus V.
Crucible, you
Horse
can...
von
Must be.
Wunder?
I think
Open it,
Wonder is
open it,
spelled
open
with a
it.
W. It's just
That's not a
pronounced.
title. for
Also,
this
the
episode.
horse
I
has
don't
a
know why.
name, people. It's
Well,
Bucephalus.
The
maybe
horse.
this is the way
Learn
he
it.
signs
Yeah,
his name.
it's Bucephalus is a wonder horse. We
No.
know that, Tony.
Oh, I miss him so much. Why are we wasting time? Why is this adventure just not just me and Bucephalus?
You
and
delivered
Nadia?
a revenant
Just
to us, Tony.
telling jokes.
Perhaps
We
he's
just
hiding
ordered
inside
the
the
Revenant.
coffin. You never know. We should open up and see if Bucephalus is inside.
I didn't open the bag, people. That was you.
I'm
Okay.
scratchy scratching
I'm-
at the coffin.
Crucible. Sorry,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
pull out my battle axe +1 just so I have a magic weapon handy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Aline, you were rolling something.
It was
about
an 8.
Undead. Okay, was that about undead? About revenant? What was?
It was I was trying to do a perception check to see if I could glean anything from the information that we have already. And
I think that you have gleaned from this that you have never been mailed a coffin before.
Definitely never been mailed
Fair.
a coffin with my own name on it.
Backstory.
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
technically Dan has to sign for it. You guys can all just leave.
It's true.
I
right,
think you
see ya.
misdelivered this. All right. Well, so there's scratching on
just
the
leave.
inside. There's writing on the outside.
It's one of those
I'm-
scratchy righty coffins. Yep.
I'll say, there's like, we could do like a little mold earth. Just put it underneath some rocks. We could fabricate some sort of locks for it.
We could open it real quick and throw some garlic in.
Yeah. I will say, like, he's
No, I ate
currently
the
in a
garlic.
box.
Oh.
So that's, I
Mm.
feel like strategically, something.
Curiosity's really getting to me, though.
No.
Curiosity killed the Crucible.
I literally put a bad thing in a box, and you guys are like, "Gotta open that box someday."
Some of us are not.
We're gonna
Crucible-
leave the box here
Some of
forever?
us.
Crucible could
Yes.
fashion some nails, and we could nail it shut real good.
That's true. I mean, I could. I could.
You guys, it's all you guys.
I don't want
know
to
why I'm saying
open this
anything.
box. to
Yeah,
be
I don't think
clear.
we should
Yeah.
open this.
Yeah,
Says
I would like to make
Broldish.
it more shut. How could we make it the most shut?
Let me see what.
Considering
All right,
some
I'm gonna-
Can you
gonna-
cast shut box?
I'm gonna tromp out there, and okay. So you said you heard scratching from inside. I am going to go up to the box and lean down and say, "Hey, is anybody in there?" Because what if it's a person that we're friends with, and this is like a really messed up idea?
The lid on the box flies off. And
no.
Well, I'm right there with my axe.
I didn't
I'm just-
open it. Is all I'm saying.
yeah, I'm just gonna
None
tell
of us
you
did.
that I have already rolled initiative for things because I saw where this was going. So inside the box is a. It looks to you, Broldish, basically just like a zombie. There's a corpse. It seems to have a noose around its neck. It looks quite old and moldering. Crucible, you see something slightly different than everyone else. You see a corpse with glowing red eyes that are fixed upon you.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Also in the box, just arrange my tokens here.
A present.
Also in the box are many bats.
Many mini
The bats-
bats or many
Oh dear, that is a lot of
regular
bats.
size
Many
bats?
bats.
Would
no.
you say,
Lots of
Tony,
bats.
that there are bats?
There are indeed bats. And the bats are no longer in the box. The bats.
Oh man, who let
Are-
the bats out of the box?
Out
The
of
bats
Let
are-
the bats out.
Oof.
The bats are
Wait,
all up on you.
bats.
Do you know the history of that song? It's fascinating.
Do not know the history of that song.
Oh, there's a whole podcast episode on 99PI about it. It is like very complicated who the origins of that song. Anyway, roll initiative because you're being murdered by bats.
I rolled very crappily.
Oh my god!
So
I
I'm
rolled
standing like
crappier.
I am literally standing over this box with my face in front of it, and I don't get to move until 5.
You just get bats up in you.
I'm with you. I got a 4.
I got a 10. This is awful.
I will tell you the bats rolled a 3 because they're just bats.
Oh wait, I'm doing that wrong.
Crucible, you know in your heart of hearts that this is a bag-related situation.
Yeah.
Dan also concluded that he should never have opened a bag 3 years ago when we played that session. And I enjoy that you remembered that and just probably think about that every time you hold a bag now. So
I would
And
like
if you don't,
it's
to before we get started, search my memory of this of it, and go back to the bag related situation.
Was it a-
Did
is this like a
non-magical
flashback?
weapons? Yes. I am not doing that much work to edit this together, you guys. Did non-magical weapons hurt the Revenant, or was magic required?
non-magical weapons hurt the Revenant. I believe you even know. I didn't listen to that episode, but you fought a Revenant because it came out of the bag, and now it's gonna haunt Crucible forever until he gets the wish spell. Or it lives 1 year.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's
So I just
different.
gotta outlive it.
Well,
good luck.
good luck. You do know, I believe that a Revenant regenerates unless it takes fire or radiant damage.
Tony,
An
what's
in-game,
the
an in-game year or an out-of-game year? Because we might
Out of
be.
either one, touch or go. You've seen Dan How Dan Lives.
uh,
lot of processed foods, people. So I mean,
I'm
sure,
not the one eating
he tried-
cotton candy over
Yeah,
here.
he did try and just feed me cotton candy to even the odds, but like I'm taking him down with me, Dan. So
What's the challenge rating on a Revenant? Just out of curiosity.
what do I have to tell you these things?
Yeah, it's the law.
Is it all right? I'll tell you it's 5.
Okay, I cannot destroy it out of hand.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a thing that haunts you because you opened a bag. I wasn't gonna let you destroy it out of hand. So we're in agreement here. Good
fair
talk.
enough.
Have people put in their initiatives?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna delete the giant spider.
Thanks.
All right. Aragal is first. I will tell you, I think were you surprised? I'm going to say you are not surprised. I feel like under a lot of other situations, I would have had the Bats and the Revenant have a surprise round. I am going to say that you were perhaps surprised that the lid opened, but you were not surprised that there were horrible things inside the box. So you're welcome. Argo.
It's a friggin' coffin. The box.
We didn't think it was full
Box,
of
right.
presents. Or
Yeah.
The box.
For purposes of shipping, we have to.
what's
define
this?
it.
A coffin full of cotton candy.
I didn't expect it to be delivered. Like, I thought it would like sneak up on us. I didn't expect it to be like delivered to the door of a
Addressed.
mansion we broke into, kind of.
Wait until next time when
Isn't
it
that-
parachutes
Aline-
in.
Is
Aline,
this
isn't
the
that-
security system for this place?
Isn't Dungeons and Dragons? That would be a weird, so highly inefficient.
All of your
We deliver
visitors.
your one enemy to
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you break it again. It's Stradon Zarovitz. Those are the only options.
It's Corpse Box, promo code TPK.
Yeah.
Every month, an artisan corpse shipped straight to your door in an engraved
Is
homemade
that a
box.
corpse of an artisan?
You don't know. We haven't talked to him yet. Wait
Yeah.
and see.
All right.
Are you an
Well, here's-
artisan?
Jane, here's all my venture capital. I'm sold.
Excellent.
I'm gonna pay you in cotton candy.
That elevator pitch
Yeah.
was great.
So Aragal's going to take care of this revenant, is what I'm seeing in the initiative order. The rest of us can go
or
home.
the bats encircling him. One of those.
Cool.
Have
Wait,
they
do
even
bats like
exited the
revenants?
coffin yet, though?
Yeah, I basically have decided that they have they
Opt
move
out.
very quickly. So there, each of you is, including Pony, it basically has a cloud of bats around you.
What about those of us who
Awesome.
are inside? Do we have a cloud
yeah.
of bats?
Yes.
Wow.
Good question. Good question.
I mean, I
Yes,
know
the
very
answer is
well
yes.
how bats can get into buildings.
It's never
They do
happened.
it even when it seems like they shouldn't be able to, but they can.
So, Jane, are you controlling Argo?
Yes.
He goes, bats!
Yeah, Argal hates to be surrounded by bats. Does not like it very much. And he is going to stab at the bats.
All right. The bats are not hard to hit. They are hard to damage because they're a swarm.
Okay. So this is going to be a... That's right. That's multi.
For some reason, I related that to
That sounds good.
M&Ms about how they melt in the mouth, not in the hand. Bats are-
Okay, well, that's a
Not hard to
critical
hit,
fail
hard to
for
damage.
Argal. Argal hates bats, which for someone from Barovia, I think makes a lot of sense.
But
Probably.
he's constantly miserable.
Especially not just in Barovia, Velaki.
Yes.
Big and bright.
Yeah.
Or bite, one of
Deep
those.
in the heart
Both.
of the lucky, and his second attack also does not hit. So he's just screaming and dancing around and like waving his swords. Cannot hit a
All
bat.
right. Imra followed by Lena Delina.
How does Hunter's Mark work on a swarm?
You mark the swarm. They're your enemy.
You hate them all.
Yeah. Those bats, not good.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark at the first level.
All right. Congratulations. Those bats.
Thanks.
Hate you also.
And I'm going to swipe at it with my. I pulled the battle axe out, right?
Battle axe? Remember when you guys liked me shortly before now?
So that's a 23.
All right, you cleave into the bats with your battle axe. Roll damage. I will tell you they are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, so they're probably going to take half damage, or they are going to take half damage of whatever you
Okay.
roll, but you're probably going to kill a bunch of bats.
Need to get my detail.
Bat
here.
swarm's not hard to hit. It's just probably going to take a couple whacks to get them. I will also tell you, because they are swarms, once you kill half of them, they are half as effective into doing damage. So,
I rolled a 7, 8, 9 for damage.
all right, I'm doing 4 points of damage to the bats. You kill several bats.
Okay.
All set, Imra?
Yeah, I think so.
Lena Delina, Elevor, you're on deck, followed by Samus.
Actually, no. I get 2 strikes.
oh,
I'm so sorry.
roll to kill more bats.
Okay, so that is an 18.
Yep, I'll tell you, the bats are 12.
Okay.
They're not hard to hit. Let me tell you, the Revenant is a lot meaner than one individual bat. If I gave you a swarm of Revenants, so when you know you've upset me.
Oh boy.
That is 12, another 12.
I will do 6 damage to these bats.
And I'm
You have killed half those bats.
Okay, cool. I'm going to have Androdite disengage and run away from the bats.
All right. The bats are kind of flapping harmlessly in the direction of Androdite, but he has run away. All set, Imra?
Yes, for real this time. Sorry about that.
Good. No, good choice of you. Good. We don't want to rush you. You made good, important decisions and killed more bats.
I
Elevor.
think you skipped Lena.
Yes.
I skipped Lena with that. Sorry. Thank you. Lena.
Lena sets her sword alight. She's gonna stab bats.
The sword in your head says, yes, feed me to their leather wings.
Okay.
Or feed their leather wings to me. One of those. I'm not picky.
Yeah.
I'm a sword.
Good at slashing, not great at grammar.
Yep. So that hits. And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be 13 radiant damage.
Oh, you killed half the bats before they could even attack
Except
you.
it's also sneak attack, Tony. So that's another 12 damage.
And it's all radiant?
It's all radiant.
And it's the sneak attack. The sneak attack is sneak attack?
Yes.
So it's... Well, is the sneak attack untyped, or is it bludgeoning, piercing, slashing?
It is
How does that
also the damage type of the weapon that dealt it.
So I think you just murdered all those bats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Eat bats.
Wow.
Bat murder.
Okay, Lena, making a note here. Lena Delina will not be killed by a single swarm of bats.
Bat free, baby.
All right. Erica, how many bats you got in Edmonton? Bat-free zone also? Just rats?
No, we have bats. Yep.
Anything that
All
rhymes
right.
with rats, free of that. too.
Cats?
Cat-free
Mats?
zone.
Tats?
Tat-free zone. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Not true.
My Canada quiz is complete. Lena, you all done? Did you want to move since you're no longer encumbered by
quiz.
bats?
Let's see. Yeah, I should probably try to get closer to where the Revenant is. Or other undead guy.
Yeah. He could be anybody.
Yeah.
Elevor, followed by Samus.
All right, let me do a little roll here. An 8 to hit.
All right, you're swinging around, but you are not connecting with any bats.
Yeah, bats and I don't really connect. Elevor will stay where he is, ready to attack bats.
All right.
And
Samus?
Let's do...
Samus will be followed by the Revenant, followed by Broldish.
Oh my god! This is so stupid. To another 8 for those listening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No attacks from either of my people.
We're all very discomfited by this, except
Yeah.
for Lena.
Good news, everybody. It's the Revenant's turn. The Revenant stares with eyes that are just full of red light and hatred at Crucible. Crucible, who will be stalked by this Revenant for as long as it exists on this plane of existence. For this Revenant, it's just this harrowing, tortured soul that will embody corpse after corpse in order to take out his vengeance upon Crucible before Crucible opened a bag.
Mhm.
That's how Dungeons & Dragons works. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules and enforce them.
I would like to point out that Crucible's good friend Brildish is standing right next to them, and Brildish is going to use her reaction to interpose her shield in between the Revenant and Crucible. So if it attacks him, it gets a disadvantage.
It will not attack Crucible so much as just stare at him with an attack you could call a Vengeful Glare. Crucible, make a Wisdom saving throw. DC 15.
Wisdom.
Sorry, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
DC.
Except that's not true. I can give you a +2 because of my delightful aura. It's a
I'll take
specific aura. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I think it's delightful.
All right. Wisdom saving throw. 17 plus 2 is 19.
All right. For a moment, you are paralyzed with fear, and then you snap out of it, and you are not afraid of the Revenant.
That's my
That was
aura.
its action.
Aura of protection. So I still got to use protection of a sort.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right. Broldish, your turn, followed by Crucible.
All
Followed
right.
by bats.
Remembering back to this previous fight, Brildish, this is, she's not the smartest, but she really likes fighting. So in the
Mhm.
previous battle, I know that we did not require magical weapons to harm it, but did radiant damage do extra damage to it?
Radiant damage keeps it from regenerating.
That's
does not
right.
do extra damage.
Okay. In that
Fire
case,
damage does that too.
I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Divine Favor on myself. So I pray to Hala, please give me your favor. And until the spell ends, my weapon attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage if I hit.
Nice.
All right.
So I am going to attack it with my Sacred Axe. And I say, in Hala's name, grant me your favor to destroy this foul creature. And that is a 19 to hit. It's also
you
it's also
whack
silvered.
into it.
If that, I don't know if silver makes a difference.
This is not a werewolf revenant. Not yet.
Oh no! Don't give him any ideas.
That
Roll some
is
damage.
10 points of slashing damage and 2 points of radiant damage.
I'm going to put 12 points of damage on this revenant. I will tell
I
you,
feel like we should kill it.
you take a chip out of his shoulder, but he looks like he hasn't even noticed it. This looks like a tough, evil, undead creature consumed with hatred for Crucible, who we all know is nice, but there has been a misunderstanding. And like most misunderstandings in Dungeons & Dragons, someone will die for it.
All I did was try to let them out of the bag. I thought I was being helpful.
I do get a second attack, so I'm going to use
roll it.
Chop one way, then chop the other direction.
Ooh,
And
classic. In
Hala
and
be
out.
praised.
I will tell. Bro, I'll just tell you need a 15 to hit this meaty revenant.
Well, rolling a 1 on the die is not going to achieve that. So
not usually.
Yeah, I guess maybe attacking, chopping in one direction and then trying to chop in the other direction is not the way to go.
Yeah, it's not. You got to follow.
Noted
through.
for next time. So yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Crucible.
hang on.
This is.
Pony probably it goes on my turn.
Yeah, and you know what? Pony's covered in bats.
Yeah, Pony is covered in bats. Has anybody even hit by the bats in this fight?
They have not gone yet.
That's right. Okay.
Bats.
Just trying to decide if I should also have Pony run away. No, Pony would not just want to run away. He's a celestial creature. There's an undead here. He's gonna just like rear up on his hind legs and whinny and just like use his front hooves to just do a.
You almost said pause.
I almost did.
I can tell.
Hoof attack at the bats. So
all right, bats are not hard to hit. Roll a hoof attack.
Flailing. Geez, I'm not rolling super well. Oh, it's because I didn't roll the pony die. I rolled the brildish die. That was the problem.
Well, that's on you, Eric.
It is. It's totally on me.
Classic mistake.
Yeah. So that's only a 12 and 11 to
12 is what you need to hit the bats.
No, it's 11.
11
Sorry.
will not do it.
I did poor
roller
math.
coaster.
Oh, you talked yourself
There's
out
a real
of that.
pony bat roller coaster here, which
No,
is
not
the
unless Pony
worst
gets
roller
it.
coaster that
An
Bruce
extra-
Wayne owns.
Unless Pony gets an extra +1 from something. No, that doesn't hit. So
All right.
all right. So he's just gonna continue to stay in the field of bats, I guess.
All right.
We'll see what happens
All right.
next.
Crucible, this is all your fault.
That seems about right. So I guess the question is, do we want to continue damaging the revenant, or should I make it run away? Anybody got a feeling on that?
I feel like we should kill it.
If we can, yeah. Otherwise, we
because
might
otherwise
get
it's going to come back and it might show up while we're in the middle of battling
get corpse
shadows.
dash.
I guess my
at
point
every
is I
place
can
we
make it
go.
run away for a minute, and that would give us time to deal with the bats.
Oh, I thought you
yeah,
meant
do
run
that.
run away.
Oh no, I
Okay.
just gotta try to turn it basically.
Yeah, a minute
worth
to
a
destroy
try.
the
A
bats.
minute,
That'd be
yeah.
good.
It's
That's
undead. I
6
don't get
rounds?
to channel. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
if it makes it. All right, let's try. I will try turning undead as my action. Crucible puts his hand forward. The symbol on his forehead starts to glow, and the
Love it when he
revenant
does
must
this.
make a wisdom saving throw.
The Revenant thinks about this and stares back at you, Crucible, with an intensity. Just kind of brushes his shoulder. For the Revenant has turn immunity, which is to say the Revenant is immune to effects that turn undead. I'm not even going to roll that saving throw.
Wow.
No.
Well, that was a good use of my action.
Somebody opened a bag. I'm not going to
Flesh
say
bag
who.
revenant.
We've learned something important
Yeah.
on this day, like all days.
Yep. Crucible, you done? You are also surrounded by bats.
Apparently.
All right. It is the bat turn. Let me do this as quickly as I can, since everybody except Lena is going to be attacked by bats. Let me just see here. I'll work. What's the best way to do this? I will work left to right. Broldish, bat attack, critical fail. Crucible, bat attack, 14, doesn't sound very impressive. Samus, a 9.
Nope.
Pony, a 10.
Oh, that hits.
Imra,
No.
13.
No.
Aragal, 13. And Elevor, 6. Those are not the best bats. Did anyone got hit? Pony got hit?
Yeah, they hit Pony.
Also, the bats chased down. Did I roll for Androdite? I don't think I did.
Androdite's. Oh, are you gonna have bats go to her?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bats will
okay.
chase down Androdite. An 11. That is.
No.
I will tell you. I rolled. I did not roll above 10, and I just rolled the d20 like 7 times. So
We need some barding. We need some barding for Pony. That's what I've just realized.
So Pony will take some damage. Pony will specifically take 2d4 piercing damage. Pony will take 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
All
Ouch.
right.
That's not good.
Um,
He still has almost half. He's got about a little more than half his hit points.
Aragal, you are still surrounded by bats. It's a question of bats or revenants.
Bats.
The
All right.
classic question.
You need a 12 to hit those bats.
He sure does.
Imra, get ready.
And let's see.
I am.
His
Get my-
damage is okay, so that is 6 damage.
But I'm having it. But he does sneak attack
Yes.
damage, right? Or poison damage?
Yes, well, that would be if he had his crossbow, but the bats are also within 5 feet of another enemy, so he
They
does
are.
do sneak attack damage.
Haha.
So that's an additional 14.
All right. He has killed more than half of the bats in that swarm.
He likes that more than last round. And then he crit fails again. So he was getting real high on his own supply for a little bit there.
I think
We've had a lot of crit fails.
just to
he's
establish
critically
our...
failed twice against bats.
Yeah,
so
Aragal, I think we're just going to canonically afraid of bats.
can't
Yep.
argue with results.
Yep. All set, Aragal?
Yes.
Imra!
Okay, I already rolled my attacks.
Nice.
They both hit. So I'll do 1 damage to see how that goes, and then I'll roll the
All
other. So that is 10 points of damage.
But I am having it. Those bats are still there, but they are not great.
Okay. So this one is 7 points of damage.
There are like 3 bats left. I don't think it counts as a swarm anymore.
I
All
was
right.
hoping I could take care of him. I'm gonna have Androdite. I don't know that it does any good, but I'm gonna have her disengage again
Okay.
and run up here a little bit.
Okay. Lena to Lena, followed by Elevor. Lena, bats or revenants?
Well, I don't have bats currently.
No.
But that dragon sculpture, we had figured out how to operate it.
I believe that you had figured out when you stepped on the steps, it triggered and blasted a harmless blast of cool, refreshing air from probably what was some kind of ice trap 100 years ago.
Eat it,
Mhm.
Revenant.
Yeah, yeah.
Feel
So-
the breeze.
So maybe a little bit of refreshing coolness will help him. Nah, I'm just gonna step
It does seem a
forward.
little hot under the collar.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step forward. Radiant sword, a light.
He does not like that.
No. But she does.
Mm.
Okay, that is a. Oof, that's a 12.
Ugh, the Revenant kind of pivots at the waist and twists wildly, and while doing that, draws a longsword.
Okay, well, I'm then with my offhand going to attack with my sadly not radiant short sword. Okay, that one hits. The damage will be halved, but I can always do that. So that's going to be 11 damage halved. And then another 11 damage also halved.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 11 damage.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Elevor followed by Samus.
All right. I've rolled attacks, so if they hit, then I'll know what it is, but I'll roll to actually hit. I think more than 20 hits. So Elevor does 13 poison damage to the bats in front of him, or attempts to do 13 poison
Okay, and that's poison damage, so it's not split in any way.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, half the bats hit the ground, poisoned.
All right, and now Samus.
Mm-hmm.
Samus, let's see, does 14 hit?
14 hits a bat, or
Good.
many bats.
And then that'll be 12 slashing, so 6 slashing damage.
Okay. So those bats are annoyed. Got
Is
it.
there a status marker for annoyed?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Snails are annoying. If I put a little snail on it, will we remember that snail is annoyed?
Oh, I think snails are cute.
Okay. How
But they do
about
get annoyed.
No, use
that
the one
guy.
with the guy holding his head. That's clearly the annoyed
Yeah.
guy. Yes, that's clearly the annoyed guy.
I'm so
I just ate
annoyed.
cotton candy.
See, I always thought that was
Brain freeze.
I always thought that was a diamond that was just shining.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's a guy.
I think it's a
I
guy.
think you're right. I think I just didn't realize it.
Wow.
Learn something.
Yeah. Did we?
I did.
Okay. So that was Elevor. That was Samus. The Revenant is next. I think at this point the Revenant is done staring and is ready to fight. So the Revenant is going to lurch forward. You are going to put disadvantage on it.
Yes,
Goldish?
I am using my shield to interpose.
So it is going to make 2 longsword attacks on Crucible. I'm rolling them with
armed?
disadvantage.
I think I can only
Yeah.
do. I think I can only do that once. Yeah, because I can use my reaction to
All right.
impose disadvantage.
My first one is bad. It's a 10 because of that. My second attack is a 12, which does not seem that effective either. So he's kind of unsteady in his movements. He's like swinging the sword without like bending his arm at all. And, between Breldish and Crucible, you're able to keep him at bay.
Praise Hala.
Praise Hala. Breldish, you're next. Still
All right.
bat encumbered.
All right.
But also, do you care about bats?
I'm ignoring the bats right now. There's a revenant in front of me and it wants to hurt my friend Crucible. Not okay. In Hala's name, I strike out at it. I hope I don't strike out at hitting it. 17?
Little sports joke, listeners. 17 hits a Revenant.
Hockey.
Very little. And that is 10 points of damage, 6 of it, 10 points of slashing damage, 4 points of radiant damage.
All right, I'm just noting 10
That is my
damage.
first attack. Second attack.
And your people are doing radiant damage to it consistently enough that it will probably never regenerate.
That's what I'm trying for. Unfortunately, I do not hit with my second attack, but I did hit with my first attack, and I have a bonus action left, so I'm going to try to shove it.
Ooh.
I say, in Hala's
Shove
name,
it!
shove it.
Shove
Yep.
it, Bagman.
Yeah. So this is a contested strength check, athletics. It can do actually athletics or acrobatics if it prefers, but I use athletics.
Or did I mention that this is a circus acrobat Revenant? Dude, we don't know how he died.
Cotton candy.
He could have died in a horrible circus. Circus
This is
accident.
Dick Grayson's parents.
Yes. I was about to say he was just a poor circus man with his circus wife, and they were the flying revenants. And until the circus did the wrong thing with the mob, and a rope was
Point
cut.
of order.
and-
Are there circuses in Barovia?
No,
They are
they're all
bad circuses, Dan.
canonically there are not. We know this already.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
There
right.
were too many clowns, and the people of Barovia were like, even this is too much for us.
Right.
And
We've got limits.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what
All
did
right,
it get?
I'm rolling a strength check. I have rolled. I feel pretty good about this as far as the Revenant goes. A 19.
Well, that doesn't beat a 23. So
Breldish gonna Breldish. Oh yeah, I'm now flashback to that time when you arm wrestled 2 bros at the same time.
right? Yes. So hey guys, do you want me to knock it prone or push it 5 feet away?
Prone.
All right,
yeah.
I am knocking it onto its booty.
All right. he falls back into the coffin from which he emerged.
Yeah, take that. Inhale be praised. And then Pony will rear up on his hind legs again and try really hard to hit some bats.
You should get Pony some silver hooves so that silver horseshoes.
Oh,
that's a great idea. This time he got a 15.
That'll kill some bats.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I wasn't expecting the hit, so I forgot to roll damage. But I will do that now. So 2d4 plus 2. So that is 8 points of damage.
4 points of damage to the bat swarm. All right, Crucible, it's your turn. We did this for you.
Yeah. Crucible takes
keeps
his
reminding
Yukawa
us.
and he does the thing where he like runs the blade of it like through his hand and it lights on fire.
so cool.
I love that move.
And then he
amazing.
raises it and like tries to stab it directly down into the Revenant.
You have advantage when you're
I
stabbing
do
a
have
revenant in
advantage.
its coffin. Or your coffin? I mean, the coffin has your name on it. So ownership
All right,
of the coffin
well.
to be determined.
Let's hope this goes better than my last rolls.
I mean, you could claim it.
All right, so that's a 25.
That's not necessary.
It does 11 damage plus 46 because I'm burning a 4th level spell
46?
slot
46.
Oh,
for
gosh.
that. It does 29 damage as I drive that home.
Now, what types of damage? Because some of that damage might be halved.
Oh,
right?
yep. Sorry. Fair point.
Oh, wait, no.
Also,
No,
No, not on the
That's
Revenant.
bats. This is not a swarm of bats. This
Yep,
is...
that's a Revenant. So that's
yeah.
25
A
damage.
swarm of
or, sorry,
revenants. Oh, gosh.
29 plus an additional d8 of radiant damage that I'm just adding on because I'm freaking awesome. So that's basically fire and radiant in one.
All right.
23,
Those are not-
11. That's
If you could
30
make sure all your
34
future
points of
damage was like charm damage, that would be great. Dan, what was the final big number that you said?
34.
Charm type.
34.
3d4.
Well,
3d4.
I will tell you that you have that Revenant. Let me just check here. If bloodied was a thing, that Revenant would be bloodied.
Darn tootin'.
That's what I like to
And
hear.
I think it's certainly very embarrassed at this point.
Is bloody
We
a
basically
thing?
had a stare off, and
Find
then
out.
Bruldish knocked it over, and I stabbed it back in the coffin, and I impaled it on a flaming spear.
I feel like I
That's
won the
teamwork.
psychological first round of the battle by delivering you a box with your name on it full of a corpse.
But
Absolutely.
I won the more
Since-
important physical round.
Yeah,
of the-
since then it has not gone my way. But I'm just gonna say, giving you guys a box with a corpse and a bunch of bats, I feel good about that.
You,
Yep.
I don't know that you should.
That was my little addition to the adventure. I feel good about that. It is the bats' turn to wrap things up. I will tell you, because these bats are flapping around in the daylight and Aragal keeps running away, these bats give up. They're not going to chase the dog all day. But other bats will continue to try and nip at the people they've encircled, though several of the bat swarms are damaged and are going to do less
I'm
damage
very
than they
scared for
normally
Pony.
do. Roldish, 9. I am not using that die for the rest of these rolls.
Can I transfer that to Pony?
No,
The 9?
but I will. Here, you know what, Erica?
Bad
I'll
damage
use-
is not
I'll use the
transferable.
bad die one more time for Pony, and then I'm changing it out. I have rolled a 11.
Oh my
That's enough to hit
gosh.
Pony.
All right, keep track of that. Pony's been hit. Samus. Ooh, Samus is going to get hit. That's a 23. Crucible, you're still surrounded by bats. 15? Imra.
Laughable.
7.
No.
Actually 6.
No.
Aragal, 18, but they're only half bats. Elevor, also 20, but they're half bats. And that's it, right? I got everybody. Who needs damage rolled for them?
Pony.
Elevor.
All right, Elevor, you are taking half bat damage. Elevor, you take 1 point of damage.
Nice.
Pony takes full bat damage. Pony will take 7 damage. Sorry, Pony.
Pony's dead.
No.
Oh no, not dead. Not dead.
No, Pony's in the
Dead.
Feywild.
Pony-
Yeah,
Flashback.
taking a
That's right.
holiday in the Feywild. Having
I
some,
think it's the Celestial
state.
Plane.
Celestial
having some
plane.
pony time.
Flashback to the celestial plane.
Yep.
Where?
He's probably fine with that.
Yep. Did anyone else need any damage rolled for them?
No.
So I pictured
Oh,
Pony
right.
prancing through the field and like flipping its mane. His mane is like, so nice here in the field.
There's a magic seahorse that's like, there's some messages for you.
Hello.
That's okay. I think I actually had to recast that spell, so I still have it prepared today, so I can just bring it back immediately.
All right. Well, you have.
He's so happy. There's oats. There's everything.
Are you going to resummon him?
None of us.
Resummon him in the cloud of bats? Yeah.
I think I'll wait until the bats are gone.
So, you have fought with many a cloud of bat. You have defeated some of them. You have dealt a great deal of damage to this evil walking corpse that has come for Crucible. Will you quickly dispatch these things, or will they delay you while other creatures assemble to plot your demise within Argynvost? Isn't this like a side quest on a side quest? Yes, it is. Why would you do that to Tony? I am Tony. Why would you ask me that question? That makes no sense. For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time for Total Party Kill.
Tuesday night.
Nice.
Let me tell you, cotton candy and Dr. Pepper is a heck of a combination.
Did you put the cotton candy in the Dr. Pepper? Don't do that, Tony.
No, but I have
yum.
them in proximity.
Maybe
I
I'll have
think
some
it
in my
just
coffee
dissolves.
tomorrow.
That's not a bad idea.
Honestly.
Yeah, just
That's
a
how the
spoonful
medicine
of
goes
cotton
down.
candy every morning.